Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Luke, and here on this channel I talk about designer, vintage, affordable fragrances for the most part. In this video I'm doing not exactly my top 10 designer fragrances, but I'll be choosing one fragrance from each designer house brand. Niche perfumes have been all the rage in recent years, but I do keep coming back to my tried and tested classic and vintage designer fragrances. We will have a mix of different ones in this video. I won't only talk about vintage, but if you're someone who likes classic vintage designer fragrances, do subscribe to my channel please, and give this video a like, and obviously share your opinion down in the comments. Even if it's criticism, I can take it, believe you me. So let's start with the big guns, shall we? The first brand is obviously Chanel, and my favorite Chanel of all time is Coco, the original Coco from 1984. This is the Eau de Toilette. I do prefer the Eau de Toilette to the Eau de Parfum. And this is the most baroque, oriental, ambery, opulent, spicy Chanel fragrance. I absolutely adore it. This is perfection in a bottle. It really evokes the 80s, but it also evokes, to me, it evokes the Renaissance and the Art Deco at the same time, because Coco's apartment on Rue Cambon was furnished in this extravagant, opulent style, which kind of mixed the East and the West, all kinds of different influences, all kinds of different artworks, statues, the luxurious black Coromandel screens. And this fragrance really evokes the golden age of Chanel as a brand, but also the golden age of partying, clubbing, and the golden age of kind of cultural revival back in the 80s. And this fragrance is just such a favorite. I can never be without it. I have another backup bottle, by the way. And the other Chanel that I really, really love, and it was a tie between these two, is Allure Sensuelle. Just recently, I've been wearing it a lot, and I'm just craving the patchouli and the dry down in this fragrance. It's a stunner, another stunner. The next brand is, of course, Christian Dior, or just Dior as they call themselves nowadays. And my top fragrance from Christian Dior is obviously Poison. This is the vintage bottle. Up until Poison was released in 1985, Dior kind of made fragrances for the wallflower. They were kind of boring, I'm not going to lie. Great fragrances, but boring. But Poison was something else. It changed perfume history. This is an opulent, decadent, spicy tuberose fragrance with a popanax, with fruits in the top. It's just one of my absolute favorites, and this is a vintage bottle. I really, really love it. I will never stop loving Poison. I love all the other Poisons as well, but the first Poison, the original Poison from 1985, is just my top choice, and it will be in this video. I know I talk about it all the time, but Poison for me just ticks all the boxes, and the way this makes me feel, no other fragrance achieves that. No other fragrance, really. The next brand is Yves Saint Laurent, and obviously they have so many fragrances that I love, but my all-time favorite, my one and only, will always be Opium. None other than Opium. Yes, Opium, another grand fragrance from the 70s. This smells of parties, of clubbing, Studio 54. This is decadence in a bottle, hedonism in a bottle. This is really one of those fragrances that just lots of people, my friend absolutely hates it. I was in the department store with my friend yesterday, and we were trying a bunch of fragrances, and I wanted her to smell Opium, and she said, oh my goodness, this is awful. It smells like a masculine fragrance. And I was like, yes, that's exactly what it is. It transcends time, it transcends gender. It's just one of the most beautiful, most decadent, opulent, ambery scents of all time, and I can never get enough of this. I will always buy a bottle. I have a vintage sample as well, and I'm of the opinion that the current version is actually pretty good. So the next one also comes as no surprise. My favorite from Lancome will always be Trésor, the original one created by Sophia Groisman from the 90s, from 1990. Actually, and Lancome as a brand is just heading in a very strange direction. When I go to their counter and see all those La Vie Belles, and I'm just like, oh my goodness. They have kind of lost their personality, their soul. They're only pushing this La Vie Belle and La Nuit Trésor and all of these new releases. And their classics are just, on that bottom shelf. And half of them are discontinued anyway. So I just don't know what's going on with Lancome. And don't get me wrong, I did try to love La Vie Belle and some of the flankers. And I did try to love La Nuit Trésor, but I just can't. These fragrances are just not for me. I love my Trésor. I love my Trésor Midnight Rose. I do love some other Trésors, but not La Nuit Trésor, unfortunately. I love Poème, Magie Noire, and I did even own Oud Bouquet at one point. Really liked it, but it was too strong for me. And I do think Lancome still does amazing, amazing makeup, especially the foundation. The Teint Idole foundation is just iconic and stays all day. Amazing quality, really. The next brand is obviously JPG or Jean-Paul Gaultier. The only fragrance I really like from Jean-Paul Gaultier is Classique, the original Classique. Just yesterday I tried the new Scandale. Is it Scandale Intense or is it Le Parfum? I don't know. It comes in a blue bottle. That one was a real disappointment. I did not like the opening. It was very heavy on the ambroxan, which is not something that my nose can tolerate. But that's beside the point. My absolute favorite fragrance from Jean-Paul Gaultier is Classique, the original one, the Eau de Toilette from the 90s. This is a vintage bottle from the early 2000s, I believe. The liquid is very dark and vanillic and rich. And this is just a beautiful white floral vanilla scent. It's also very powdery. It makes you think of being in a boudoir. It's very luxurious, very powdery, It really captures the essence of Gaultier, who is all about, costumes and corsets. And this fragrance just captures that. It just smells like a dressing room in a theatre. The next brand is Giorgio Armani. And my absolute favourite from Armani will always be either the original C or one of the flankers. I really love C. And the flanker I have right here is C Intense. And this is a fruity floral vanilla scent with patchouli, I believe. And to me, this smells just like a sparkling summer rosé. But it's very, very strong. It packs a punch and it lasts about 12 hours on my skin. I highly recommend this fragrance. I think the quality is amazing. It is a bit on the sweet side, so you do get that ethyl maltol sweetness, but I don't mind that. I love the original C. I think it's becoming a classic. It will be considered an absolute classic in 10, maybe 15 years' time. And this one, the Intense one, is very similar to the original, but slightly stronger, maybe slightly blended slightly differently, but to me this is just C. And my friend who also likes C, she tried it yesterday, the Intense one, and she said, well, this smells just like C, just like I remember C smelling, and yes, it does. The next brand is Givenchy, and they really have so many amazing fragrances, but if I had to choose one, I would choose Ange ou Démon. This is a vanillic aromatic concoction from the early 2000s. It's absolutely stunning. I love this fragrance. I do also like most of their new releases actually, because Givenchy is probably one of the few brands that still sticks to their kind of florals that they do really well. They haven't really become like Lancome, if you know what I mean. Their new releases are still worth checking out, and I can't wait to try the new L'Interdit. But for this video, I'm only talking about Ange ou Démon, which I did review on my channel as well. We have a few more to go, and the next brand is Chopard, which is actually a luxury jewelry and watch house from Switzerland, I believe. And my favourite fragrance from Chopard is Cashmere from the early 90s. And this is just a stunning, fruity, peachy vanilla scent with a hint of cinnamon, balsamic notes in the base. Anyone who likes this one, make sure to check out Ylang in Gold by Mugler as well. But Chopard is just 10 times cheaper, and I always come back to this one. I always repurchase it. I have another backup bottle. I simply love this fragrance. It's the most beautiful vintage vanilla fragrance in my opinion, and I did do a video on vintage vanillas. If you wish to check it out, I'll link it down below. The next designer house is the House of Gucci, and my only fragrance that I have from the House of Gucci, and my only favourite, is Gucci Rush. This is one of the most stunning, futuristic scents from the 90s. This is a fruity patchouli scent that smells like burning electronics and burning plastic. And don't get put off, try it. It's so incredibly unique. I do have a full review on my channel. As far as other Gucci fragrances go, I don't really care for any of them. Just yesterday I was trying some of the new releases and boring. All of them are boring. I wouldn't even try them again. Like, I'm sorry. The only great Gucci fragrance, in my opinion, that I have tried, I haven't tried, the more vintage ones. The only one I've tried and I really loved is Gucci Rush. And I do think, still to this day, this is incredibly unique, and you can pick it up for a very good price online. I also want to talk about the House of Mugler, and my favourite fragrance from this house. It's obviously Angel from the 90s. Yes, the original Angel. I love Angel, but I don't like the current formula. So if I were to buy Angel, I would get a vintage bottle. And Angel just, to me, it smells like candy floss and patchouli, cotton candy if you're American. And it really takes me back to my childhood and going to the fun fair and wanting to eat the candy floss that my parents wouldn't buy for me, basically. The next designer brand, actually many people don't know, but Cacharel is a French designer. And my favourite fragrance from Cacharel at this moment in time will be Noah by Cacharel. I do love my original Anais, but at this moment I've been wearing Noah a lot. It's a beautiful, musky, soapy, white floral fragrance. It feels light in terms of smell, but it is actually strong, and it packs quite a punch when you spray this on. It's not one of those fragrances that will go unnoticed. Another designer brand I only happen to own one fragrance from is Versace, and from Versace I do really like the original Crystal Noir. Only the Eau de Parfum. I'm not a fan of the Eau de Toilette, much too soapy for my nose. But the Eau de Parfum is actually a very, very nice, powdery, also slightly soapy, white floral coconut fragrance. Perfect for summer evenings, I would say. And then last but not least, we've got Estée Lauder, such an amazing designer house from the 1940s, 1950s, I believe, from America. It's the only American house on this list. And my all-time favourite, it's none other than Spellbound. This is such a beautiful carnation, tuberose, sweet, honeyed, ambery, floral fragrance with vanilla, with civet. Apparently it's called civet, not civet. I do say civet from time to time, so whatever. I do really love this fragrance, and it was created by none other than Sophia Groisman. I do have a full review on my channel, so I'll stop waffling. Thank you everyone for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a like and leave me a comment down below. You can share your own top 10 list if you wish to, and let's chat in the comments. Have a great weekend. Bye.